A special guest today, Christopher Spruill. We've chatted with him before from Enhanced Group 1. I always enjoy visiting with you, Chris. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, John. How are you?
Fantastic. It's always fun to visit with you because every time we talk, I get a little something out of it as well. I know we're doing this to help business owners that are listening, but as a business owner myself, it doesn't hurt that I learn a little something, does it?
It doesn't.
Absolutely. And we've got the topic today talking about benchmarking your business. So what does it mean to benchmark your business? What does that even mean?
When it comes to your website and when it comes to your specific industry, you can use the analytics on the back of your website to be able to benchmark your progression from year to date of your marketing and your visitors and being able to see your growth against yourself.
So this is kind of a way to keep track to make sure that whatever it is you're doing is working, or you at least be able to know if it's not.
Absolutely, because numbers don't lie.
Yeah, that's true. And the thing that's nice, there are tools out there that make it a whole lot easier than it used to be, aren't there?
Absolutely. One of the most popular tools is Google Analytics.
Yeah, and that's something that you want to make sure that you're utilizing because Google it's a pretty big entity on the internet. A lot of people utilize that, and I think Google kind of likes it when you utilize their analytics, don't they?
They do. I mean, Google is in partner with so many different platforms that no matter where the traffic is coming from, they're able to track the actual data in real time.
I remember when we very first started the radio station a long, long time ago. We were still not launched on the radio part, but we were on the internet only. And back then, I had a little more time in my life, and I was every day clicking in and looking at the data. I was seeing how many people were listening online, and then if I saw a whole bunch of people quit listening at one time, I'd look and see, okay, what happened at that time? Oh, we started playing this song, so I took that song out. But I was using all of the data to make our station as good as I could possibly make it. And it's funny because I had people later saying, man, your station sounds so great. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I actually had some data that I could look at to decide what can we do to make this better.
Benchmark really helps you when it comes to the growth of your business and also your marketing. To know what's working, what's not working. 100,000 visitors last month, but now you're only down half to 50,000. Then you're able to benchmark and say, okay, what changes did we make that now we have less visitors?
If you don't know what you did wrong, you're going to keep doing it wrong.
That's why you have to be a numbers guy when it comes to business. That's the only way that you can grow. And if you're not a numbers guy, you have to get someone on your team that is a numbers guy and that can understand analytics and data.
And in the same sense, if you don't know what you did right, you're not going to know how to repeat it. So if you have this gigantic explosion of growth for 2 weeks and then it goes away and you're going, wait a minute, what do we do during that 2 weeks? If you're not benchmarking and keeping track of what you're doing, it's going to be a whole lot harder to know how to repeat that success.
Exactly, and that's what analytics does. It helps you to see clearly on exactly what works and what doesn't work instead of just shooting in the dark. You're able to hit it right on target every time.
For a business that's listening that has a website, but maybe they don't have any of this data right now, they're saying, well, I got a website, but I don't know what this analytics is even all about. Can you help them do that, or is this something that they have to do on their own, or how does that work?
We can absolutely help them attach Google Analytics or any other analytical tool to the back end of their websites. I deal with hundreds of business owners, and almost half of them, if not 60% of them, have websites, smaller business owners that had a website for 5 years, but only had Google Analytics attached to the back end for a year. So they've missed 4 years of data of knowing what worked and what didn't work, and a lot of guesswork.
Yeah.
So everything that you do, you have to, follow the numbers, because we, as business owners, we're very passionate about what we do in our industry, and sometimes that passion and that emotion, it blurs a lot of things where we make decisions off of emotions and what felt good, but the data says different, that it did not work. So it's always good to benchmark against yourself.
And I suppose if you're building a website, you want to just do that from the beginning. Don't wait 5 years like the other guys did.
Absolutely. And they had the websites, but they just had the website, but they didn't have the analytics to the back end of it.
They didn't have somebody like Christopher Spruill looking out for them, making sure that everything was covered.
Absolutely. They didn't have me or someone like me that understands data and and analytics. And not only does analytics on the back end of your website, but analytics on the marketing side too. So if you're doing Facebook ads or Google AdWords or any advertisement, there should be an analytical tool on the back end of that marketing tool to know if you're doing your marketing right. So there's analytics on the marketing side, and then once they land on your website, there's analytics on your website.
And it sounds to me like you need somebody like Christopher Spruill that knows what he's doing. And if you're looking for somebody like Christopher, why not just get Christopher? EnhancedGroup1.com is Christopher's website. And you guys do this for people all over the country, so no matter where they're listening, you could help them?
Absolutely. That's what I'm in it for.
Well, that is awesome. And the thing that's really cool, you know, the bigger the internet gets, the smaller the world gets. Because even though you and I are talking to each other in two different states, and there are probably people listening in states that, you know, other completely different states than the ones that we're in, and maybe even different countries, the thing that's really nice with the internet kind of goes all around the globe, so you can help people kind of wherever, just like they can listen online wherever. It's just a really cool thing when you think about that.
Yes, it's really cool. Now I understand why ancient philosophers said that the world was flat. Now I understand they was looking into the future.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Christopher, thank you again for taking some time to chat with us about benchmarking your business. That makes absolutely perfect sense. It'd be just like if you're going on a diet. If you don't know how much you want to lose and you don't know where you're starting, how are you ever going to know if the diet worked or not? Exactly the same thing with business. If you want to grow your business, if you don't know where you're starting, and if you don't know how much traffic you have today, how do you even know if it's working? So analytics